Hey, welcome to my channel. This is a reading for the full moon in Libra, April 2022. Full moons are about forgiveness, releasing, and expressing gratitude. That's the theme and the energy around the full moon. Since this full moon is in Libra, there is also a lot of Libra energy. Libra has a lot to do with relationships. And since we are in Aries season, the sun is in Aries. Aries is more about the self, so we have been focusing on ourself, and now this Libra full moon helps us focus on other people and the relationships and the interactions that we have with other people in our life. For this full moon, look at the relationships that are in your life, whether it's romantic, with friends, with family, coworkers, colleagues, business partners, any relationships in your life. And this includes relationships with your familiar as well and other animals in your life. Are these relationships in alignment with your true authentic self, with your purpose, with your goals, with the reason that you feel you are here on the planet, what you want to fulfill? Are these relationships supporting you, or are they making it harder for you to fulfill those things and to live the life that you want to live, to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, to be your most joyful and happy self? Take time to consider what energy you are spending on people, and are these people worth that energy, or are these relationships worth that energy? Relationships reflect our internal states. They're kind of like mirrors, which our familiars really are mirrors to us. We can really see what's going on internally in our familiar's behavior, but that is also for all the relationships in our life. Relationships do reflect our internal state. So when we see maybe what we're bothered by other people, or where relationships aren't working or supporting us, we can look internally and see how the ways we think and feel about ourselves and the relationship that we have with ourselves and our beliefs and the thoughts that we tell ourselves about ourselves, how is that reflected in the relationships that we have? As I said, this full moon is a great time to release, so think about the things that you no longer want in your relationships, or specific relationships that you don't want. How can relationships support you more? What do you need to release to bring in these supportive, loving, trusting, harmonious, balanced relationships? How can your relationships help you with your growth and expansion, with fulfilling your purpose? Libra is all about inner peace and peace in general, harmony, self-love, beauty, and the balance in our relationships and in our life in general. So think of these themes and these energies and ideas during the full moon period. I'm going to ask our familiar in a pick a card reading. I'm using the Dog and Cat Communication Tarot deck, which is specifically designed for communicating with your familiar. I'll leave the links below for that deck if you're interested in finding out more. And I'd also like to invite you to join my Facebook group, Living with Familiars, to interact with like-minded animal lovers, share or get support in working with our familiars and using tarot to communicate with our familiars. So our familiars are really great. They have a lot of really great insight into our lives, into who we are, and we can help them and ask them for support or guidance, ask them for advice. They give really good advice. So I'm going to draw some cards to see what our familiar thinks we need to let go of and release within relationships. So I'm not going to look at specific relationships to see which relationship we maybe need to let go of completely, but a general, throughout all of our relationships with family, friends, and everyone we interact to, what can we release to help these relationships be more supportive to our growth and our expansion and moving towards our desires and achieving our goals and receiving what we are trying to manifest. So this will be also in relation to your new moon intention that you set 2 weeks ago at the new moon. I also want to remind you that I have a meditation for the full moon period that you can do with your familiar to help you just interact, communicate more, and receive some more guidance from your familiar during this time, and also to work with the energy of the moon. So get comfortable, relax, Take some deep breaths and pick a number from 1 to 3, and that number will be your message. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and get into the reading.
What does our familiar suggest we release from our relationships? Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. In what way can we make our relationships support our goals and our dreams? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. A message from our familiar for this full moon in Libra. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 1, your cards are the Four of Bones and the Tower. Group 1, your cards, the Four of Bones and the Tower, both have to do with stability and security. However, the Four of Bones means that you have the stability and you have the security, while the Tower means that there's some upheaval and maybe some chaos and things are not secure. Things are kind of all over the place and there's unexpected changes and things are happening suddenly. But since both of these cards are about being secure and being stable, familiar is really suggesting that you look at which relationships in your life provide that stability and that security that you need. Are you receiving what you need from the relationships? And also, do you feel stable and secure on your own? It isn't up to someone else to ensure that we feel stable and secure. Of course, support and that stability is important in a relationship, but you should be strong on your own, which is kind of what the Tower, our familiar, is telling us with the Tower, that you need to look at relationships and ensure that you're not relying on other people to help you feel stable and secure and confident. Changes are likely to occur. They always do. And especially since you have the Tower, maybe you have already experienced some chaos or upheaval, or maybe that is coming, or your familiar feels that this is coming or that this needs to happen and that you need to take some sudden and drastic change. But your familiar is really just reminding you that you are confident and you need to trust that no matter what situation or issue you are currently dealing with, it will pass and the outcome will be for the best. Our animals mirror our optimistic and our confident energy, so you can really look to your familiar for that support and gain some confidence. Ask your familiar to help you cultivate that energy, the confidence and the optimistic view, even when everything around you seems like it's crashing down and you feel really insecure or you feel like your whole world isn't very stable. And you can also look at how your familiar acts when they are experiencing situations that maybe feel scary or unsure. And they might be mirroring to you in ways that you can maybe improve, or areas that you can become a little more confident and secure in. Stay confident and trust that whatever challenge you are experiencing, you will receive a positive outcome. Your familiar is really reminding you of this with the Four of Bones. The Four of Bones is our familiar saying, I like my toys and my food, and thank you for always providing them for me. I hope that I will always have these fun toys and yummy, healthy food. So your familiar is saying that we are really secure, even though you might not think it right now, or some relationships don't feel that way. We have stability and we have security. So, this full moon, look at your relationships, and your familiar wants to see what makes you feel safe and secure and confident in relationships, and what relationships are maybe pulling you away or making it harder for you to feel safe and secure and confident. What adjustments can you make? Or maybe someone else is really relying on you to be that stable, secure presence, and maybe you need to let them find that confidence and that stability in themselves because you already have it and you're providing it to someone else. And that can is really great to support someone, especially when it's a relationship that's really important to you. But you need balance. You need this to be a give and a take. You need to feel that you're not giving too much in a relationship. So, what can you do to shake things up? The Tower is really about creating sudden movement, sudden change, unexpected change. And you can be the one to create this because your familiar is saying that you are stable and secure and you have the confidence, you have everything that you need to make these changes. And look at your relationships and really figure out how you can bring more of this confidence that you are growing and gaining. How can you bring that into relationships, and how can you create more balance in your relationships? I hope this was helpful for you, Group 1, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Group 2, your cards are the Three of Hearts and Strength. Group 2, your cards, the Three of Hearts and Strength, are really about knowing your confidence and your strength and sharing that with other people. The Three of Hearts is all about regularly having fun and socializing with people that are in alignment with you, people that you love to spend time around, people that are important to you, people that love spending time with you and that you love spending time with them. And this could even be your familiar. Just play, have a good time, enjoy each other's company, have fun with others. They're your favorite people and have some fun. Experience joy with other people. Even if that's just cuddling up with your familiar and just spending time together, enjoying each other's company. Your familiar wants you to find this comfort and this joy and this just fun energy in your relationships. How can you bring more of just pure bliss and joy, laughter and excitement into your relationships? How can you make them more fun, more joyful? What do you need to release in order to feel and experience that in this may be all of your relationships or one specific relationship? And the card Strength is your familiar letting you know that balance is really important, and it's important to find balance between power and compassion. If you think of a leader, you don't want someone who's really strict and doesn't consider the people that they are leading, doesn't consider their feelings, just this is the rules and this is how it is, and they're kind of cold. This card's Strength is about having that power, that leadership, and the strength to take charge and give directions and enforce rules, but at the same time, doing that with love and compassion and being gentle about it. Sometimes you need to be assertive in your relationships. You have boundaries that you need to set. Are those boundaries clear? Your familiar wants you to become really clear on those boundaries. And I feel like they are clear and you know what your boundaries are, but your familiar wants to remind you that you can enforce these boundaries while at the same time being gentle and empathetic. You have guidelines that you enforce in all your relationships, or this again may be one specific relationship, but you can enforce these relationships with love and You can have empathy when you are enforcing these relationships. So your familiar really wants you to release what is preventing you from experiencing more joy and fun and just enjoying the company of another while also keeping your boundaries firm. Are your relationships letting you, are they respecting you and your boundaries? Are they letting you experience this joy and this fun while respecting you and respecting your boundaries? And are you communicating your boundaries in a gentle and calm way? You can be assertive, but you can also be calm. You can do them at the same time. And is there something holding you back from feeling that you can communicate in this way? Or have you just prevented yourself from communicating in this way? Often we can think that we need to be strict and serious, and it needs to be like a big conversation or a big talk with someone when we are enforcing our boundaries, and we need to be really clear. And that's not the truth. We can have fun, we can bring joy and laughter while still staying firm to our boundaries and having other people still respect those boundaries. Your familiar is reminding you that you are able to influence and encourage others in a gentle and loving way. How can you use your power and your ability to persuade people? How can you use your power to benefit both you and the person in your relationship? So, this full moon, really look at how you are communicating your boundaries and if you can do that in a more gentle, loving way. Or maybe someone else in your life, maybe they are trying to communicate their boundaries with you, and maybe they're coming across as cruel and mean, and that's hurting you. And you can be more empathetic and compassionate towards them, and or let them know that you hear them, you respect them, but you want to have fun with them too, and you want to bring joy and love into this relationship. Your familiar is also just reminding you to experience that joy and fun and have fun with your existing relationships, and just enjoy, celebrate the relationships that you have. I hope this was helpful for you, group 2, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Group 3, your cards are the 9 of Hearts and Judgment. Group 3, your card, the 9 of Hearts, is all about expressing your contentment and gratitude for your loved ones and for your familiar and the people in your life, the relationships that you have that you really enjoy. It's all about telling them, thank you for everything that you do for me. I love you and I appreciate you. So your familiar wants you to express yourself, express your gratitude, express your feelings, and really bring that into your relationships. Be comfortable and confident in your ability to let others know that you appreciate them, you enjoy them, you love them, and you're grateful for them. And our familiar also just wants us to take the time to notice how other people show their gratitude, show their love. Maybe there's some other people in your life, relationships that you have, and you feel that they're not expressing to you how important you are to them. And maybe you need to talk to them about that and let them know that you want to be felt that you're important and you're valuable, and suggest to them how they can do that. Maybe there are people doing that and you're just not realizing it, or you're not noticing, and just take the time to really notice how people express their gratitude towards you, how people express their love for you. Everyone expresses this in a different way. Not everyone will come out and say it. Some people like to show it with the gifts or doing acts of service to you, like helping you out with day-to-day chores or just doing things that make your life easier. And there are many different ways that people express their gratitude. And how do you like to express your gratitude? How do you like to receive from other people when they express their gratitude? Maybe it's important for you to hear people tell you with words, and you need to look at your relationships and maybe let some people know how they can express their gratitude or what's important to you. So look really both ways at yourself, how you are expressing, and if you could do more of that, or look at how you are receiving. And if you need to have any conversations, this isn't a serious conversation or something that heavy, but something more that you're just kind of letting someone else know how you would really appreciate being shown that you are loved. And it can be something really simple and easy. So this is really all just about showing your loved ones that you are grateful for them. And there's your familiar suggesting there's something blocking you or something you need to release, or a thought, a limiting belief that you need to release in order to really become aware of how others are showing you gratitude, or to become aware of how you can maybe show a little more gratitude to other people. The card Judgment is our familiar letting us know that the energy is just a little bit scattered, and it's kind of the energy of multitasking, trying to do many things at once. And our familiars, animals in general, really like to, they have one focus. They like to just do one thing at a time. They're not playing fetch or chasing their toy or scratching on their scratch post while they're thinking of other things. They're focusing just on the one thing that they're doing. So having more awareness and knowing what their priorities are and following what feels right to them, letting go of meaningful tasks or activities that no longer bring joy. That's what our familiar really wants you to do with this message, is to let go of anything that no longer is in alignment with you and who you want to become and who you're trying to become, who you're moving towards, your goals and your desires. Who does that person, who do you need to be to achieve those things, to receive those things? Release what you no longer need to focus on and go after what your heart is calling you to do. Go after what you are passionate about, and don't be so scattered trying to do a bunch of things at once. Focus on the one thing that you're passionate about, that you love. That's what your familiar is trying to tell you with this card. And combining that with the other card, the Nine of Hearts, which is showing gratitude, I feel like this is our familiar trying to say, pick some relationships. Maybe you have a lot, maybe you're dating, or you have a lot of friendships or coworkers, and you're just trying to be there for everyone. You have a large group, a large friend group, or a lot of people that you're dating, and you're kind of scattered everywhere. Your familiar wants you to narrow it down and pick some people that, or some relationships, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, even family members. Pick a few favorites, just a few, and really show those few your gratitude and your love, and let them know how important they are. It's time to focus in on a few core relationships, a few that are really important. Not that you need to let go of everything else or become in a serious relationship if you're dating. It could mean that you're familiar suggesting that, but that doesn't mean it has to be. But maybe just focus on a few a little more than the others, and you can still have these other relationships. Don't let them go completely unless you feel like that's something that's right for you. Your heart knows, and you know if you need to let go of these other relationships completely. So just really become honest with yourself and discover which relationships you want to put a little more attention. Let these people know that you're grateful for them, you appreciate them, and you want to put a little more effort and time and devote a little bit more to these specific core relationships. Your familiar wants you to become more streamlined and focused, and let those people know how much you appreciate them and show them that you are grateful for them. So I hope this message was helpful for you, Group 3, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful and you have a great full moon, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.